Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate aligning to the table, and then I'll demonstrate aligning to the wall bucky. First, you want to make sure that your bucky is up, your tube is up out of the way enough that we're not going to touch or startle our patient as we come across the top of them. I'm also not going to turn the light on until I've moved past their eyes so that I don't shine a bright light in their eyes. Green moves it horizontally, so I'm going to move it down over our table, and pink moves it transverse. So I've moved it in the general area of the center of the support, and now I need to make sure that I align it to the bucky itself by aligning the arrows here at the top, tip of the arrow to tip of the arrow, and then I need to align my bucky and my tube. So we use the indicator here in the middle, push it in just a little bit to make sure that I stay centered to that line. Then I can push that. And I didn't have it set. So just like I had mentioned to you all, if I don't have it set for table bucky, that bucky will move out of the way. So let's do that again. I didn't do that on purpose, but that was a good example of what happens. Okay, so now we're aligned transversely to the bucky, and now we're aligned here to the bucky. Okay, here on the transversely and horizontally to the bucky itself. Now, since it's aligned to our image receptor, we want to try as best we can to always then move the tabletop. If I move the tube, I have to move the bucky. If I move the bucky, I have to move the tube. So for all movements and alignment that I can do by using the tabletop, I save motion, I save time by just moving the patient, since those two are currently aligned. Okay, so yes, you can reach and grab this all move button, but that could possibly mess up either horizontal or transverse alignment. So for centering in this first semester, particularly, I want you to make sure you align each one specifically. The green, horizontal, you align here, okay? Turn on your light and make sure that you're aligned, okay? It doesn't take a lot of movement to get that where it's not aligned anymore. And then transversely, arrow tip to arrow tip with the pink button, okay? Now, to align, before I move, you can also measure your 40-inch SID, and for 40, we need to set our tube measurement to the tabletop at 37, because then there's 3 inches from the tabletop to the image receptor, and that makes it a full 40. Okay, so anything in the bucky that's supposed to be set at 40 inches, then you'll measure 37 inches to the tabletop. Okay, now I'm going to turn the camera so that you can see the wall bucky, and let's align to the wall bucky. And I'm just going to step in front so I can make sure that you can see. Okay, so if I'm going to align to the wall bucky, I'm going to move it transverse, and again, I'm lining up the arrows tip to tip. And then if I want to move it to 40 inches or 72 inches, there are indicators on the ceiling. There's 240 and there are 272, and I need to put the support between those two marks. Okay, so if you can only see one of them, it's not aligned. It's not 40, it's not 72. So if I've aligned transversely, now horizontally, if I'm going to align to 72 inches to do a chest x-ray, I put 72 is marked on this side and 72 is marked there. So now it is at 72 inches from the wall bucky. I do need to turn my tube. My source of radiation has to be pointed at the bucky in order for me to get an image. So now I am at 72 inches to the bucky. I have to change this SID indicator. It right now says 39.4 because we were doing a 40-inch SID projection over the table. So now I hit the plus button that increases that, and now it says 70.9, and it helps my collimation to be correct over here. If you start to align and your collimation looks way off, you can see how I've got collimation and light field on the wall, then I just need to check that SID indicator. And when I change it to 72, then it makes that collimation correct for that SID. So if I want to change the orientation then of the collimated field, then I can just change using the knobs on the front to twist and put that in place. Thank you, and that is our lab orientation.